Hi everybody, Holly here. I have another QHHT Session segment to listen to in this video. And the purpose for me sharing it has less to do with this segment and more to do with just a general message about QHHT. So, QHHT, Quantum Healing Hypnosis Technique, is a methodology created by Dolores Cannon. And those of us practicing it were either trained by Dolores herself or her daughter, Julia. And there are certain aspects of a QHHT session that are really important to stay true to Dolores's methodology. Now, there are lots of other hypnosis and regression-oriented methodologies out there. One of them that you might have heard of is called Beyond Quantum Healing, BQH. And a lot of people that are involved with BQH were trained by Dolores or in her methodology. But how BQH differs from QHHT is that additive or alternative measures have then been added to Dolores's methodology. So it's been tweaked a little bit. And one of the ways that BQH might be tweaked is the belief in doing remote sessions, doing sessions via Zoom or doing sessions via the phone. Now, Dolores felt very, very strongly about only doing her sessions in person. All QHHT sessions are in person. If someone's trying to sell you a QHHT session and they're telling you it's remote, it is not QHHT. Run away. Run away, okay? It's really important. We only ever have one QHHT session, so this is perhaps one of the most sacred moments in your life. Give yourself the gift of actually showing up to it. That's one of the reasons why we only do QHHT in person, because of the holiness, the sacredness, the importance of this moment in your life. Let's actually, literally, physically show up for it. The other reason that we only do QHHT in person is just out of care and concern for the client. Things can happen in hypnosis, emotional things, energetic things, that if there's not another person, if there's not a facilitator in the room, then there can be a little bit of risk for the client involved in that. And that's why I've keyed up this QHHT session segment for you. I'm working with a client and we're in the middle of his healing, and he's being connected to source energy at this moment and having a very, very profound experience. And I want you to just listen in at how impactful this experience is for him. At that moment, there was a lot of motion going on. He was moving a lot on the bed. He was having a very intense emotional experience. And I'm so glad that I practiced Dolores's technique to the T and only do sessions in person, because I cannot even imagine having a person experience what this client is experiencing, and me being on the phone or me being on Zoom with them, me not being physically present to help facilitate that moment in that moment. So listen into this QHHT session segment, and this is why we don't do QHHT remotely. This is why we show up for this sacred moment in person for our clients. Thank you for listening.
You can see now that the emotional body can cloud his own perceptions to where he can't see the divinity endlessness.
Very good. Very
He
good.
wants to love. He wants to love everyone.
Uh-huh. Will it be easier for him to do that now?
He wants to love everyone so much.
Mm-hmm.
There's people who persist. To poke his emotional body. And it seems to rile him up in a way. And it starts to cloud his mind.
Will that be different for him now with what you've done for him today? He's starting to see the difference in the emotional body, the mind, the spirit. Very good.
It's like the spirit is standing here full of love. The body is just standing there not knowing what to do. And the mind is trying to tell the body what to do. But the mind is so bombarded by so much. So much that it doesn't even know what to tell the body.
Yeah.
So there's confusion.
Yeah.
Between the body and the mind, and there's never been the true connection that there needs to be.
Wow, very good.
To be able to be to be able to truly differentiate
Very
his higher self
good.
from the mind
Very good.
that's been telling him who he is, who he's not.
Is there alignment now with the work you've done between you, the mind, and the body?
His body is seeing the mind, the body is so, the body.
Can we do that for him? Can we connect?
The body is he sees the body separate from his mind.
Very good. Very good.
He sees his mind as like another entity. His body is a body that can hold a mind that's capable of perceiving so much more
Mm.
than he's ever thought possible.
Mm-hmm.
But he still feels, or has felt in the past, that the mind and the body was the same.
Uh-huh.
In other words, if he felt an emotion, he thought the emotion came from his mind. But now he's starting to realize that the body has a body all of its own.
Mm-hmm.
And it's an emotional body.
Mm-hmm.
And just because he feels an emotion doesn't make him a good or a bad person.
Mm-hmm.
And he always thought if he felt a negative emotion that he was a bad person.
Right.
He wasn't doing what he should have been doing.
Right.
But he's not a bad person.
Right. Yeah. Body was just feeling an emotion, wasn't
And
it?
he's full of love.
Mm-hmm.
He came to Earth to love, and to show others that they can love, and to end the violence, to end the separation of our minds and our hearts.
Nice.
And that we can live connected to God through our hearts and our minds, and live connected to the earth through the body, through the emotional body that connects us to the feelings we feel as a collective human consciousness. And we feel, all humans that walk the earth feel the great emotions of the earth. And that's why there's so much upheaval in the minds of people. It's because of the great emotional shift that the earth is going through at this time.
And the people
The
think,
earth needs peace.
yeah. And do people think the same way that he thought, that it was their bad minds that were creating those emotional shifts?
So many people think they are the reason for the evil and the bad things that are happening to the earth. So many people think they're the cause of the negativity of the bad things that are happening. And they're just because they've not disconnected or realized their true self, which is endless, their true self, which is pure, their true self, which is light and love, and their true self, which is compassion, is not the emotions that their body is feeling, and that their true loving higher consciousness is not bringing the negativity and the disharmony that's on the earth. It's simply the disconnection of the higher self, or in other words, a higher state of being, of awareness with our conscious physical existence. And we go through life as if there's no difference.
Mm-hmm.
And so many perceive the experiences that they've gone through, that they perceive as negative experiences in their lives. And they see it as possibly because they deserved this negative experience because they're a bad person or they did something wrong when they didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Simply it was their circumstances of their life they grew up in.
Mm-hmm.
The key is getting people to see that we are not the emotions that we feel.
Very good.
And that the emotions that we feel are signs of the body pointing us in a direction that we need to look at in our own lives to find a path that we could consider taking to advance the spiritual progress that we need to make or want to make, if that's the choice we want to make.
Very good.
That's the path that an evolved soul chooses to go down. They will learn the separation through meditation, of course, the way to disconnect the higher consciousness and awareness that connects us all, that gives all of us that deep peace, that deep love, that deep feeling of oneness. What each person feels when they are in a very peaceful and deep state of awareness and consciousness, when they have learned to set aside the physical, emotional constructs, emotional imaginations, emotional expectations, the physical things of life that people seem to make their life evolve around, that are simply just an experience that happened to us, maybe as a small lesson to help us go down the path that we really want to take to higher spiritual growth and awareness, which is what we are all seeking. Most have just lost sight of it through connecting more with the physical body through the mind, which has the ability to block our connection with our higher self. It creates what we think is our higher self, a whole nother embodiment of who we think we are, of who we think we imagine ourselves to be, when in fact we are none of that. We are simply a small piece of the light and awareness that has come into a state of physical embodiment for a small period of time to experience the emotions connected with the physical embodiment that we cannot feel. when we are pure, when there is only peace, and without the incarnation of a physical body, we don't understand the physical emotions connected with the body that we have until we experience it ourselves. And forgetting is the hardest part. For we knew that we would forget. We didn't know how much we would forget. And we thought it would be a way to advance us in a spiritual way, to be able to understand higher planes of existence, such as what those who exist in higher planes of dimensions, who have knowledge. We are seeking to expand our consciousness. How they told us we would have to know and feel and understand the emotional body that's connected with our physical mind and our body and yet all of this connected with the higher self could experience. Such things would be a great benefit in our growth. But yet we were also very made aware that we could be distracted at such a point that we wouldn't even remember our former life, our former existence of pure consciousness, pure energy, pure love, pure light. And slowly humanity is gaining it back. The body is feeling very, very, very strongly the connection with the earth, the physical emotions, and also he's connecting through the mind, his connection with an energy that is much higher than the physical energies that he's typically experienced in the earth. The higher self can look down at any person, at any time, at any state, at any point, and see through the understanding and eyes of love and compassion. Anything anyone does in this thinks or says in the physical incarnation is simply an experience of them learning to grow and to connect their physical experiences, emotions, light with the higher purpose, light experience that they really came here for.
Very good. Very good.